history repeating itself? According to an article, there has been renewed interest in the Gurion Canal project, a proposed 160-mile-long sea-level canal that would connect the Mediterranean Sea with the Gulf of Aqaba, bypassing the Suez Canal. But let's go back a little farther, how the Suez Canal was built. I believe one of the worst crime by the invaders, besides religion and colonization, was building a man-made Suez Canal. This construction of the Suez Canal took place between the years 1859 and 1869. It did not benefit the motherland, but caused destruction and the reshaping of the entire world. It is believed to be one of the worst crimes committed during that era, in order to divide and conquer. This endeavor, despite being intended to bring benefits, instead brought destruction and had a profound impact on the entire world still unto this day. So let me say this. Before we proceed, I want to clarify that all the information I provide is intended solely for research purposes only. Please feel free to ask any respectful questions you may have. So let's continue. This was a hideous crime committed by the invaders that remains deeply etched in history. This crime, considered one of the worst of its time, involved the construction of a man-made Suez Canal. Not only did this act fail to benefit the motherland, but it also caused immense destruction and reshaped the entire world. It was a calculated effort by the invaders to divide and conquer, further fueling the damages caused. Even to this day, the consequences of this endeavor continue to reverberate, serving as a stark reminder of the profound impact it had on the course of history. However, a group of military invaders ordered by British, French, and American investors who also sought to conquer and enslave Africa to work on building the canal. Their motives were driven by greed, power, and a desire to control the resources and wealth of the continent. These invaders were relentless in their efforts to subjugate the African nations and exploit them for their own gain. British, French, and American investors in the Suez Canal, many of these were slave laborers, and it is believed that tens of thousands died while working on the Suez Canal from cholera and other causes. So as you can see, this is how the shaping of this new world, which was rebuilt off of the back of African slaves, which is why it's time for us to research our own history, because these stories will never be taught in schools. So let's continue, because it gets even worse.
By digging through a rockier ground, they would have more likelihood to have a wider canal, allowing two ships to pass each other at the same time, as opposed to one ship, which is presently happening in the Suez Canal. And where do you think that canal empties? Not just in the Mediterranean Sea. The Ben Gurion Canal would empty right in northern Gaza. It's all to build this canal. We've all been getting...
Even though they say all this had everything to do with religion, but you be the judge. However, most tragic consequences of this invasion was the loss of Africa's birthright to the motherland, the planet itself. The invaders exploited Africa's resources, plundering its lands and leaving scars that would take generations to heal. The once thriving civilizations were pillaged, and the people were subjected to unimaginable suffering and hardship. I need you to ask yourself, is history only repeating itself? And who will say enough is enough?